How the hell you doing? I've been just fine.
You've got Jerkz. What's going on, everybody? Let's just dive right in here. We are going to bring onto the stage, get your dollar bills out, and bring a warm welcome to, let's see here, if I did this right. Probably not. I didn't. What's up, punk? Here we go. Wait. Here,
let's see if I got this right.
Try it again. How's that? Better?
That's great.
All right. We also have toy optics here. Let's try this one more time. Coming to the stage. Spectacular. Listen, guys, I'm still learning. And then
before you do it, make sure you turn off the auto loop.
Auto loop.
Yes, there's an auto loop, and if you don't turn it off, things will continue to play over and over and over.
It'll keep playing.
Yes.
All right, let's try this again with the lovely Terry. All right, how was that? All right,
great.
All right,
excellent.
That was fun. Hey, big week.
Anything happen?
Week.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
There's a ton of stuff.
There was even more stuff in the last hour.
Yeah. Oh,
McFarlane stuff. I mean,
was
nothing I collect, but there are people that do. So,
I do.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying that's nothing new. The guy's always showing something new, like every hour on the hour.
You want to do the voice spec?
And the quality is there to show for it.
Oh, guys, check it out. I got some new stuff. This is Joker with the camera, and he's got some great things. And he's not Spawn, but he's got a crowbar and a lens. And
do you have the McFarlane figure spec?
Zen does. I don't.
Yeah, but you need to get it because we need like a commercial. Like I need a commercial for my show on Monday to advertise for this, and we need that.
I think that's a good idea. I can send it to you. You can always send it back. I mean, I'm not married to it.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. Like if I can get a commercial from you guys before Ed gets me his commercial that I've been asking for like 6 months.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We can make it happen. Spec, you now have control to the chat.
I do. Look at this. Boom! I can actually show people stuff.
All right, so go to the top
KCC?
and go to the top and start saying hi to people.
All right, let's say hey to MTC. Hey to Same Time Toys. Mr. Stanley Eberhard. A toy kind of moo. Duh.
Yeah, I think the D is silent.
That's Trav Moody. That's Trav Moody.
KCC Toys. Some Derek Holyman. I want to say Hooligan. Can we call you Hooligan? Derek Hooligan. Crusty Old Crow. Checkpoint Alpha. What's up? David R. Johnny B54.
Mm-hmm.
As of Sunday, Spec B46. Some Tristan T. Out of shelf space. Aren't we all? Rowdy Riles. I Love Football. Michael Gene Fleming. I'm starting to see a lot of the same names. I think
we got a lot of comments. I like this one. Got a crowbar. Yep.
And I like this one. McFarlane feels like collecting Pokemon.
That's pretty true. Do you guys feel that way about any lines? Got to catch them all.
Mostly just G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
classified.
Joe.
Operation Monster Force right now for at least for right now. I don't know how long I can continue to do that.
I'm really looking forward to getting my my Monster Force eBay purchases in hand.
Well-
Which one did you have to order off eBay?
It was a translucent figure and glow in the dark.
Oh, I thought you got those.
Well, I don't have them in hand yet.
Oh.
Okay.
Glow in the dark Forgotten King, and then
The Forgotten King
translucent
is
red
yeah, the
Dracula.
glow in the dark Forgotten King is awesome.
He looks like it.
I should have bought him when I had the chance.
Unfortunately, the blood red Dracula, even though it's cool, it doesn't glow in the dark, and due to the translucent, like you really can't see any of the detail in it. So, but you've already seen it. I mean, you already know what he
Yeah.
looks like.
And I'll get the regular ones too. At some point.
Yeah, they're all real good. I mean, very impressed with it.
I have the Declan Van Helsing. And there's a couple paint issues, and his butterfly joints are really loose, but he looks really good. The accessories are crazy. And then I got the what is it? Is it the Shadow Guard or whatever? I got the green soldier, bad guy
Yes.
soldier. And God, just the sheer amount of crap they come with to customize an outfit, and
It's almost
it's
frustrating.
yeah, it's overwhelming. And then I have the Kilowog coming from Big Bad. I just shipped my pile of loot.
Which one?
The
The deluxe
big one,
one?
the deluxe one, yeah.
Okay, I have both of them. The non-deluxe one, a lot of people said it seems to have like loose joints, and mine doesn't want to stand up anymore. But the other one stands fine, and they're the same figure. So I don't know, like if maybe they were done at different times, but plastic's completely different though because it's a different company.
Right, Loose Collector or
No, it's
or Fury Planet.
I don't know. One of these guys should tell me.
So why did a different company make it?
Because it's another company already made the werewolf. It's God, what's the other guy? There's another werewolf that everyone likes, and they just basically contracted them to do it. So it's the exact same one with a different weapon. That's why you'll see shotgun shells on it. He doesn't come with a shotgun. I don't know. My moderators aren't in here, or else they'd be all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, I just wanted to kind of address. I didn't even notice your shirt there, Lawrence. You came prepared, buddy.
Look, there he is, Matthew Deluxe.
Yeah, Fury Planet, Maestro Union, Fury
Yes,
Planet.
Veteran Williams is who he was.
I
Skink
feel
Man
dated.
here.
I inferred from the title Yojo Jerk would be here. Yojo Jerk and I talked about doing something, so maybe soon. We'll see. He's turns out he's kind of local to where I'm at. But no, I wanted to dive right into the Circle of Jerks. I think this is the name we're gonna go with, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you guys happy.
Yeah, I think if the chat likes it, we'll stick with it. I did want to give a quick shout out to the artwork here, done by Toy Optics. Toy Optics, walk us through.
Walk you through that?
Yeah, what is that? Tell everybody what that is.
I mean, if you know the Circle Jerks and their logo, the moshing, dancing guy that's on, what's his name?
Skank Man.
Skank Man on Punk's shirt. I had gotten the SHF Figuart or SH Figuarts Spider Punk and wanted to do a quick little photo, and I was like, that's perfect. I'll just make him do the Circle Jerks pose, dance.
And you got it.
You nailed it, man.
I mean, you got it almost perfect. See, I don't hate Super 7 completely. I hate Super 7. But they produce punk rock stuff, so
You know, and that's funny that you brought them up because Super 7 is super niche, right? And
yes.
when they were first putting out their stuff, the reaction stuff, and like they got the Beastie Boys, Circle Jerks, I think the Ramones, they've got everybody, right? Run DMC. That's really just like for you to pick up and give to a fan of that kind of thing. You don't like exactly have to collect them all, you know?
No, and that's why, like, when it comes to a reaction figure of like the punk bands I don't mind spending $20 because they're not going to make that many. But like when they did the G.I. Joe stuff, come on. I mean, that's a much broader audience that they want to pick that stuff up, you know. But they're doing like Gorilla Biscuits, Agnostic Front, the Misfits, Rancid. Like these are things people don't know. So there's only going to be a limited amount of them. So that I fully understand. But
The Creamery.
The Creamery sounds like a perfect match. How can you walk in pants that tight? Well, Spec usually does these streams pantless, so I doubt he can answer that one. Terry, do you wear pants that tight or no?
No.
No.
No, I don't.
Lawrence, you want to answer that
come
one?
on, I was a 90s skateboarder, let's be honest.
There we go. Rowdy Riles says it's like wearing leggings.
I watch guys skateboard in like skinny jeans and I don't get it. Not
I
only
don't
does
understand how they do it.
yeah, it looks awful, but I also don't know how you do it.
Well, it's kind of like the only thing I can think of how they would do it is Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs.
Well,
I mean, that's it, right? They got to tuck a little bit.
but you do BMX, right? Like,
Yeah.
do guys in BMX have like tight pants?
No, I've never wore tight pants with
Yeah,
doing BMX.
and I think tight pants on a bike is would be. I think tight pants on a bike would be more important than having baggy ones because you get stuck in. I mean,
Yeah, no, okay. So you wouldn't go skater baggy.
No.
You could do jeans and you know what I mean?
no one should have ever went skater 90 baggy, all right? Including myself, all right?
Man, and that
Bingo,
style's
man.
making a comeback if you like see the
Whoop.
kids these days.
What?
There's like super baggy
Oh,
pants.
Yep,
It's
a
like
lot of the skaters are.
I just
used to
look and I'm
wear-
just like, it didn't look good in the 90s. It doesn't look
No.
good now.
No, it did. Even though I'm not ashamed of it, I knew that it was a problem when I was trying to do a trick down these 7 steps and I kept falling. And one of the guys that was there was laughing. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, what was so fucking funny? And he goes, every time you fall, you look like a bag of clothes just rolling down the street. Is that like an extra large shirt on? This was well before I ever lifted a weight, you know? So
Dude,
I'm
I can
just like
totally
this
see
scrawny
you
dude.
rocking that look. Did you have long hair?
Long in the front. I had long bangs. You,
So the reverse mullet.
I've never heard it referred to that. But yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
party in the front, business in the rear.
Yeah, you can find there's a picture of my eighth grade school year. I have my bangs in front of my eye because I thought it was really cool. My dad didn't think it was funny.
Here, let's answer this one. Mod Extra wants to know, is this being streamed somewhere else? Different chats. Yeah. We're just messing around right now. We're trying to get our foundation down for the show. I don't know if we're going to rotate channels or if we're just going to continue to do it like this, but we're just trying to have some fun and introduce audiences or subs to each other.
Yeah.
And kind of see, like, so maybe you're following punk and you want to check out Toy Optics or the Island Viper, and nobody wants to check me out, so I've made peace with that. But if you decide you want to come over, you're more than welcome to.
Well, he's on your channel because there's no link to
I know.
it.
I was giving an example.
What we need to do is have like when we create the description, have all the links to all the channels. So if somebody wants to find someone, they're not trying to figure. Again, mine will be really easy to find just because a punk with toys. There's no other a punk with toys. But if you have some weird name, I'm sorry, when you look up the Island Viper, there's a whole bunch of different things that come up. One asshole comes up all the time.
So Punk, if I'm replying, because I have my StreamYard linked to my YouTube chat, whatever. So if I'm replying in the chat, is it only going to my stream?
If you reply in the StreamYard chat, it will go to everyone.
Okay.
Or at least it should, because you should see it populate 4 times.
All right, let's test that before we bore everybody.
They're already bored.
Everyone see this.
Well,
And
you
then,
just asked it, hey chat, can you see my replies?
yeah, can everybody see that? Just give us an emoji middle finger. Can they do that or not?
Nope. I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't see it in mine either.
Really? I see you just wrote test.
Well, we're looking in StreamYard.
But we can't see the other chats from the
And
other channels.
I don't know why that is, because normally, because we're logged in as ourselves.
Ah. All right.
Yeah. Like I said, that's the only problem that I have with multicasting. So I guess we need to kind of just see how it goes. If there becomes like lots of conversations, and that's how the chat's going, and that's what's keeping the show, we might have to put it on, one channel.
Yeah, and we can all advertise it. So if the chat is down with that, we can rotate channels. This way, everybody gets a little bit of exposure, and that I'm fine with that. We can do that. Let me see here. I wanted to go right into this. I don't even want to talk about this, but I want to make a point about it. How do I bring this back up? There we go. This guy, Mr. Cox. In an interview, this Mr. Cox said that he wanted to bring something big to the masses. He was talking, he's being interviewed, and he was talking about, or somebody asked about the USS Flag. Would we ever see it again? And I have one takeaway from that, but excuse me. I wanted to ask you guys, Terry, what are your thoughts when you heard this news?
I think a lot of it's hype, man. Like, I don't think that anything like that's going to happen. If it does, it's going to be a HasLab, and it's going to be pretty expensive. I would say that that'll probably run somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 to $1,500 if they did make a HasLab aircraft carrier. And of course, it'll be for 3.75 O-ring scale.
So if they did it, you think they go back to 3.75, like the Sky Striker?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
I agree with that.
And I think that it's probably been a plan for a while, considering what the Sky Striker came with.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was probably planned when they did that.
But nobody wanted 1/18 scale figures.
Right.
I'm not going to say nobody. There are people, yes. But the masses didn't want to go back to 1/18 scale.
Well, it didn't even break all of the tiers, and they had to throw some extra stuff in to get it to really get up there.
Yeah, but we see what the classified HasLabs do. They just blow right through everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you, because I actually did a short using the what the hell's the name of the hook? But the tail hook, because in theory, now my Arista cable, that's it, the Arista hook, the Arista cable on my flag is broken, so if it hits it too hard, it pops out. But when it hits it, it actually opens the landing gear. So I'm with you. I think that's what it was supposed to. I think that they had plans to see if maybe they could do this, or maybe even do a like a headquarters and kind of give you an Arista cable just to use that play function.
Well, I want to know from John E. what they lied about during the Sky Striker campaign. Let us know in the comments. John? What did they lie about?
Yeah, I'd be interested in that too.
I
go ahead.
think if they had led off the HasLab with the flag, it would have made much bigger waves. I think, because of the whole thing, the dream projects, right? And the Sky Striker is iconic. And I mean, I got it. I never had the original Sky Striker as a kid, and it's cool for what it is. But like, if it had been a reproduction of the flag that most of us couldn't get as kids that we would be able to get now, I think it would have hit a lot harder, and not necessarily like 118 wouldn't have kind of gotten buried the way that it did.
It got 118 got buried. I think a resurgence is coming.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you on that. There would have been a lot of hype for it, but I think what we saw was people wanted classified because older, there's more that you can do with them. And what I mean by that is photography-wise.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you can't make nearly as many vehicles. This, and I don't think this would have been 1,000. I think something like this, you're looking in the $500 range for
Really?
3.75. I think so. But one thing that Patrick Stewart, not Picard, Patrick Stewart said a long time ago was he said if they did it, it'd have to be bigger than this one. It'd have to be at least 8 feet long, because you can't come out and say, hey, you know what, this is a dream project, and have it the exact same dimensions, because then people are like, well, that's not a dream project. Kids like Punk had it as a kid,
Yeah, but not everybody was lucky like you, Punk.
But that's what I'm saying.
So
But that's what I'm saying.
Other people.
But I'm saying if you did a dream project, you have to make it at least a little bit bigger.
You're right.
That's all that I'm saying. Like, you can't say this is a dream project and people be like, well, they already did that exact same size. You'd have to go at least 8 feet.
Maybe, but I mean, the thing is when this happened, you saw all these people online. They were like, I already have a Sky Striker. Why do I want to spend $300 on another Sky Striker? I already, and it's like, well, they updated it. They made improvements. It's like, that's well and good, but I already have a Sky Striker. I don't want to spend $275 on another one. But not everybody had the flag.
Right.
But not everyone has the room for a flag.
Somebody just sold a flag near me for, I think, $8,000 to $10,000. Did you see that post?
I did not. That's crazy. It better be complete and mint.
Oh, it's sealed in the box.
Oh, that's why. I'm surprised it went that cheap.
So I don't know what the final price was.
So I want to go back because John E said that they lied about producing more 3.75 inch figures. They did not lie about it. They had every intention of doing it. Hasbro pulled the plug on it because I guess this is what people don't realize, that Hasbro is a $1 billion company, but G.I. Joe is a $1 million brand. It's not a $1 billion brand. And Hasbro isn't interested in making thousands. They're interested in making millions. And believe me, I believe it was John Warden had every intention of doing the 6-inch line and the 1/18th line, O-ring and 4-inch figures. That was pulled from them because the budget for G.I. Joe was really, really low at the beginning. It's not like that anymore because they're shattering everything. They're doing so well.
They are doing so.
They didn't really lie. I've talked to Lenny about it in a roundabout way, and they had every intention of doing it. But yeah, it got pulled. It got pulled from them. So,
I think the sales.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Baldy. No, I was just going to say, I think the sales prove it too, because because the HasLab didn't hit the final tier. Because I understand why they did it, but I think it was a misstep that they were releasing the 3.75s as 2-packs, so you were spending $40 for 2 figures, and it was Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, and Duke and Cobra Commander, and Cobra Officer and Cobra Trooper, and it was so you have to lead off with the bread and butter characters, but a lot of the people that were still into that scale already had the bread and butter characters, right?
That was the misstep.
Yeah. The thing that I remember most about it is all those people that were crying and begging for 3.75 O-ring figures. like once they got them, they didn't want to support it.
Yes.
Like the Sky Striker, if as many people actually supported that as what claimed to, that Sky Striker would have hit all of the tiers in no time. They wouldn't have had any problem getting that done. Even though it's still a Sky Striker, it was updated. They made that in collaboration with Grumman, didn't they?
Grumman. Yep.
And it also was time of year. Of year. It was right before the holidays.
3 HasLabs going, and I still believe that if the Rancor would have come after this, the Rancor is the one that would have funded, and the Sky Striker wouldn't, because there's a crossover between Star Wars and GI Joe.
The Rancor was an epic pooch screw on so many levels. For all the way people get pissed that the tears were, and I'm sure it was all Lucasfilm's fault, and they're everybody's going to blame the Hasbro team, but yeah, that was a mishandling that the GI Joe guys that don't collect Star Wars didn't even witness.
But what I'm saying is, once the Rancor failed, a lot of those people that buy both brands jumped over to the other. And I think what would have happened was, if the Sky Striker ended first, and let's say it didn't fund, people would have jumped over just to back something, because you weren't going to back the Ghostbusters Proton Pack unless you're a Ghostbusters fan and you're a cosplayer. And that's what I mean by that.
Well, the reason I even brought this up, I mean, one was because it had people talking the last couple of days. One, I don't think it's going to happen. It could.
I wish Cox could be in the middle of our circle jerk. It'd be really cool.
Listen, we got to work on that so that we could get a big Cox right there in the middle. But yeah, the reason I even added this for tonight was he's telling you to write in. He's giving you hope that could be false hope, but what it tells me is that G.I. Joe ain't going anywhere.
I agree with that.
So that's my takeaway from this. But my takeaway is that he realizes, or he's expressing, no, G.I. Joe's our brand. It's not going anywhere. So I think that's the big takeaway. And if it does come, I agree with Terry. It's going to be 3.75.
Oh yeah, you can't, because all you can really do is a superstructure. Like, you couldn't do the whole thing. But I do want to address something like what Terry said, that like, people don't want this, or else it would have hit all the tiers. And I agree. You know what people want? Just like the classified vehicles, they want the option to buy it, even if they're not going to do it. And they don't care that if Hasbro loses money on it, because they think they're a $1 billion brand. Well, they're a $1 billion company because they make less mistakes. I don't know if that's true anymore, but normally they make less mistakes than normal. Or less mistakes.
It's funny you mentioned that. It's like a lot of the people that constantly beg for the classified line to be readily available in every single store they walk into. But what are they going to do? They're going to walk by it, look at it, and say, "Oh, that's cool. It's on the shelf," and they're going to keep walking.
Yeah, or I'll wait till that goes on clearance. It's too.
I'll wait for Ross.
We gotta address the super chat.
Yeah, we have to address the super chat.
KJ,
it's not to me. I don't care.
Well, KJ makes a great point here. Ahoy wouldn't say no to classified flag control tower HasLab. Like Dio in pieces.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Listen, if you did a Terradrome, right?
Okay. Yes, that's what I was going to say. Give me a Terradrome.
Why can you do it with the flag too?
Because I would rather them put their resources towards a Terradrome or an actual headquarters than just part of a USS flag.
Well, I agree with Larry on that.
This modular tower thing that Beast Battleground just highlighted in the last week, I think that's them testing the waters for the Terradrome.
I don't know about for the Terradrome
in modular pieces,
but I could see it. So I've said before what my idea for the Terradrome should be. It should be a HasLab. You do a half a Terradrome, right? so you can put it against the wall to save space. And it also comes with a fire bat. But make it so if you buy 2 of them and you have the space in your home or wherever, you can put them together and it makes one full Terra drone.
Well, it's like the Cantina has lab, because you could buy the standard, which was just half the Cantina, or you could get the deluxe, which gave you the full.
But what I'm saying, if you did a Terra drone, half of it, you could push it against the wall on a table, right? So it looks good, right? But if you bought 2 of them, you put them together, then you end up with 2 fire bats. Then everyone's happy with that, right? And just make it work like that.
I like this. Just give us a flag with 4 collapsible table legs. I'll replace my dining room table with it. That's pretty awesome. Actually, Lawrence, you had a good segue into, and now I forget what you were saying exactly, but this bad boy today showing up on Big Bad Toy Store, pissed off a lot of people.
Big
There were
Bad Toy Scalpers.
But it's not like they got all the leftover Sky Strikers, and they were selling those for what, $350, $325?
Yeah, but people forget, Spec. People don't know that this happens every freaking HasLab.
Yep.
It's the overstock. It's the overruns that they made to correct quality issues, and they sell them off.
I have my replacement canopy sitting over there on the floor.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How come they didn't just throw this up on Pulse and offer it to the customers there?
Well,
I don't know that with the HasLabs, Terry, do you think it's overstock, or do you think the Big Bad Toy Store put in an order?
I think they put in an order.
Yeah, I think that they order them. Now, I think when the Sky Strikers went up, I don't remember, because it seemed like they got a lot. I think they might have bought out.
But if you remember, Hasbro Pulse put up the Sky Strikers themselves for the 225 or whatever it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when they opened the vault,
those are the overstocks. I believe that they let BBTS and maybe Entertainment Earth, I don't know, I haven't seen them, but at least BBTS, I think they let them order a few more, so that, how many do you want? They probably give them an option to order so many, but you can't sell it till this date.
Right.
I've heard that I've heard both versions of that from multiple different people, and nobody that actually has any credibility of like knowing exactly what's going on. So
yeah, and I have no idea. I'm just kind of throwing out what logically would make sense, but
yeah. But then they did get like the Vamps that had damaged boxes that they were selling for $130.
God! Did you see the guy whining about it today?
No, thankfully.
Oh my God! There's a guy. He posted in Jeremy's new group, and he's like, this said slightly damaged, and both pieces of tape are cut on both sides. That's not damaged. And they're like, well, it says slightly damaged, and he's like, I wasn't gonna open it. Well, why would you buy it? Why would you buy something that's damaged to keep it in the box? So he's like, I'm waiting to hear back from BBTS, and I'm like, you're an idiot.
Open it and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Buy some gridiron kits and customize them.
Or don't, and just enjoy it as is. That's what I did.
You don't need any extra kits. I mean, I know I'm part of the Gridiron gang and we get everything for free, but
and you also get paid for it.
And I get paid for it. But
yeah, where's your sponsorship logo? Fuck. They're gonna pull our funding, man.
I keep forgetting to put it up. It's unbelievable. But yeah, listen, anybody that's seeing this and you're pissed off about it at all, Big Bad Toy Store bought these. They bought these during the HasLab.
That's what I'm guessing.
It's not a guess. I'm telling you what happened.
Okay. Baldy is confirming. Just be like everyone else.
Yeah.
Just confirm. It doesn't matter if you.
You know what, Matthew? Everybody on YouTube is a shill. You're shilling your hobby. You're shilling your business. Everybody's a shill. It's okay to shill. Okay, you heard it here.
Also, quickly, everyone, smash the like button. Make sure you hit a subscribe to anyone's channel on here, in case you haven't yet.
And for fun, if you're watching it on Punk's channel, on my channel, on Specs channel or Terry's channel, go to the replay later and just hit a like for everybody. I don't know how that works. That might mess up the algorithm, but I know nothing about that stuff.
Just watch longer than 30 seconds, because if you look at your analytics, it always says how many people are watching past 30 seconds. So watch like a minute.
I knew I was saying that wrong word. I thought
Or
it was
just turn it on and let
analytics.
it play in the background.
All
What is
right.
that?
It's not analytics. Okay. I want to dive right into the topic tonight about AI and why it's so good and important in the world today. For one, you get beautiful pictures like this, where it looks like a mix of Travolta, Tom Cruise,
The Hoff.
and it's obviously Knight Rider.
Why is I mean the fact that Kit is part car, part horse
With one wheel.
No, there's a second wheel, but it's really thin.
Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah.
But he only has 3 legs. It looks like he only has 3 legs.
Well, I look at something like this and I don't understand how AI could get anybody upset. This is beautiful. It's great. I think what's not to like here?
I hope the 4 horsemen do wonderful horses. I hope they create something like this with the car on the back.
So the argument against AI is that to generate images like this, it's basically stealing images or using images from all over the place, put together to make this. So when someone creates AI artwork, what they're doing is stealing aspects or using aspects of other creators' pieces of artwork to make a conglomeration like this. That's the argument against it.
What?
And that it takes away from the creativity of the human.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. Did you talk to my moderator Matthew today? Because that's exactly like almost word for word how he says it.
It's
I mean,
It's
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 the
because
textbook
they asked
definition.
AI. They both asked AI to answer that question.
It's like AI music. People that create AI music, the shit's all over YouTube. Like, this stuff comes up all the time in different playlists and shit that I have, where it'll randomly throw in a song that's completely created through AI. Like YouTube is doing it, Spotify is doing it, but it's taking aspects of other creators' art and making a conglomeration to be this AI music.
Well, Terry, that's a very well thought out response. Would you do either of these tricks?
This looks like the conjoined twins.
Only at the same time.
What is up
Well, this is the joy of AI. I saw this picture, and just like you, Lawrence, it immediately brought joy to my life. You just spit your drink out.
I was close.
So hang on to this comment for a second.
This is the new artwork for the new classified gem that's coming out there.
So every artist steals unless they're blind or influenced by something. So I don't really equate influence to stealing, because AI literally takes existing pieces of artwork and incorporates them all into a collaboration. It's not like looking at something and saying, I'm inspired by this, I'm going to create something similar. It's literally taking the same thing and claiming it as their own.
All right. So if I took more time, I would have taken the live field. What was it? The X-Force cover where he copied Cyclops, the X-Men cover.
All kinds of there's an entire group on Facebook dedicated to that, pointing out different comic book covers that have been stolen from other comics.
Right. So that would fall under plagiarism. It's almost right. The same thing as AI in the digital age. Not
How do you like
AI,
these-
but you know what I mean. It's stealing.
AI in the analog age, you mean?
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
That was
okay.
pretty
So
good.
yeah, basically, it would be kind of like AI in the analog age.
How would you like to be scrolling through the internet, and then all of a sudden you see this, and you're like, "Hey, that's our daughter. Why does she?"
Well,
What
wait,
the hell is
wait.
this?
This is somebody's daughter. What the hell is going on there?
That's like when you were in school and you used
Yes.
to do that with your shirt.
You know what this is? Since I brought up Liefeld, this is like Liefeld doing the prompts. He still doesn't get it right.
And this is clearly Violet from The Incredibles.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
for sure.
there's definitely influence there.
Except
MCR,
Violet had 2 arms.
I don't know. Most people I would talk to would deny it if they did. I don't know, to be honest. It would negate the. It's a fight right now, and it would negate the point of hiring writers and having a writers' room.
No, we are all from an analog generation, basically. So we are going to drift more toward the anti-AI side. But there's also the idea that AI is the future of humankind, that AI is the next step in human evolution, and that we are, in essence, becoming God, and that AI is our creation.
Did you just smoke a bowl and watch The Matrix?
No, I sit and think about this shit all the time.
Yeah, disagree on every artist's style. It's part of the learning process. What they do with the information or skills separates creativity from plagiarism.
Okay.
Oddly
Yeah.
enough, this comment is coming from Machine Man.
It's an AI bot.
So I used to want to draw comic books, like until I decided at the end of my high school course to pursue film. From the time I was 5 years old up until I was 17, 18, I wanted to draw comic books. And how did I learn how to draw comic books?
Tracy.
I bought Wizard magazine, I bought Hero magazine, I read the comics I read, I looked at the artists that I admired. Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane was huge to me, and Greg Capullo and all those guys. And I would try and emulate their style to a certain degree, but you take what you've learned from what other people do and you make your own style out of it. And then there's the intention and the humanity of it and the emotion, and that doesn't come from a cold calculating computer.
No, I agree.
Would that be considered a fire horse? Since Kit was the firebird, the fire horse. The
It's a
hawk on
Pontiac.
The girl's arms were freaking me out,
Pontiac.
so I had to change the picture.
But this one isn't. The half horse, half car. This looks like one of those Old Spice commercials. Isn't it the Old Spice?
Oh yeah. Where he's like the centaur.
Yeah.
I'm on a horse.
Well, this more is like prompt stuff, right? So people were putting in prompts to get these images. This would be more like the artwork that is stolen. I'm not really sure what this prompt was to bring this one.
It's like Tim Burton does Steven Spielberg.
Maybe it was.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was Jaws 2 with Beetlejuice. I have no idea. But this is definitely like it shows the artifacts.
The entire episode is freaking me out.
Thanks, AJ. Well, here's why we brought this up, right? Because last week it seemed like it really hit hard that this picture really affected people in the community, right?
And there's also the Televiper here.
community. Go ahead, sir.
There's also the Televiper hand. Somebody brought that up to me, and I hadn't even noticed it.
Yeah,
But the Televiper's hand that's on the fore end of the camera gun,
Yeah,
it also looks to be AI.
it does look to be AI, but I didn't include that picture here. So, I mean, we could talk about it, but you can see this here. Like, this is a glaring.
But see, I'm still not convinced that what people think is the fifth finger right there isn't just the same color of that explosion in the back.
Well, it's also the wrong kind of gun.
But it's the gun. It's the gun that comes with this Wild Bill.
Does he not have a revolver?
No, he has a 45.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I thought maybe it's Super 7 doing it. Again, stupid. I'm not trying to. So if you look, it looks like that might be part of the explosion in the background.
Maybe.
And if they were holding it like a Super 7, it wouldn't, because there's a trigger guard on it. It wouldn't be there. Again, it looks stupid. I'm not trying to defend how bad it looks.
I mean, even if that wasn't an extra finger, you still got the toe fingers down at the the bottom.
Again, I'm not saying it's good.
Gigantic thumb.
Well, that's the thing. I haven't heard one person in any of the fandom across the board. I haven't heard anybody support this. Now,
I haven't either.
I know that it was shared in one of the interviews. I think it was on a Full Force. And he used the piece of his mouth to express this, but it was just that if you're being told by somebody, it's not AI. I didn't use AI, or we didn't use AI. Right? That's what they're being told. I'm not saying it's glaring to me that this is AI.
It's either completely AI or it is an AI enhanced image.
Yeah.
One of the two.
So that's one thing that Chris from the Full Force, when him and Patrick Stewart were talking about it, they were saying that this might have been another picture that they used, and they digitally went over it and missed it. I never really heard them make excuses for it. But if you're told by the team that, hey, no, this is not AI, even though you may think it is, all you can do is say, hey, I was told that it's not.
And that's exactly it. And
It looks like AI to me.
DC went through this last year, and I actually didn't have time to pull the pictures, but DC had a couple artists that were accused of using AI. And the problem with it is there's inconsistencies. So at first, when I first saw this, I thought, all right, they're not really going after, they're not really trying to emulate Hector. Is it Hector Garrido? Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really trying to emulate him per se. I thought they were leaning more towards the Fun School artwork. That was like the more cartoony-ish artwork that was done for, I think, the Asian or the Indian market, and maybe in
Also
Brazil.
Russian market.
Was it the Russian market?
Yeah, it was the Russian market as well.
Well, Russia's part of Asia, Terry. Okay, so I got it right the first time. There, who did that? That's what I was trying to do, guys. Welcome to the circle of jerks. I couldn't figure it out. You'll have to show me later. We'll sidebar. But that's what I thought they were looking at. And then as we got into pictures like this, where you're comparing,
why?
Yeah, you're comparing this awful version of Flint compared to the far superior 40 years ago, 1985 picture from Hector Garrido. I said it right the first time.
You got 1985 badass Flint, and you got 2025 air dicking champion Flint.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna put a dildo in his mouth.
They both do, actually.
No, the other Flint looks like he's saying "Yo, Joe."
The other Flint, the new one looks like the O-face Duke.
Yes, that's a good call.
Looking at both of these, I do have to say something though. If you remember the first Flint, so many people whined and cried, said he looks too old, he looks rugged, he's supposed to be younger. This art makes him look like he's a little bit older, like he's a grizzled veteran.
Oh yeah, he's been there for a bit.
So fuck all you people that said the first Flint sucked.
I mean,
all of a sudden everyone likes
it. It's 1985. Most of A Real American Heroes served in Vietnam.
Yep.
So this is about, 15, 17 years later. So it looks right to me.
Vietnam ended in what, 1975?
Yeah. But it started in 68, right?
67 or 68, I thought.
Yeah.
68, I believe. So the Wild Bill I'm ignoring because that is Super 7. That is not Hasbro. That is not the G.I. Joe team. What makes no sense to me by making this, again, it looks like it's AI to me. All right. I don't know, unless if I saw the artist and he said, here you go, this is what I did. What makes no sense to me is early on in the classified, when they had a much smaller budget, they took pride in hiring different artists to do the classified artwork.
Right.
So why would they not do it here? Now, with that said, the Stalker artwork and the Spirit artwork, I think both sucked. That was awful. And everyone said, hey, art is, interpretation. But I don't know why they would go to AI with this, especially when this is the stuff that people are actually going to keep on card for some odd reason.
Well, okay, so that's where the retro line, it leans heavy into the nostalgia, right? So a lot of people want to pick and choose certain characters that they had as kids, or maybe they still have a figure left, right? And they maybe want to display that. So the card art is probably 50%, if not more, important than the figure, right? If you're
for the retro line, yeah.
Hey, sidebar, keep the comments up a little bit longer so people can read them.
And real quick, the Vietnam War actually lasted from 1955 to 1975.
Yeah, it was a long war. Well, long conflict. It wasn't considered a war.
Long conflict, yeah.
Yeah. My mom hated that.
Well, here's more of the conflict here. There's an extra finger there.
No, there's not.
No,
it's the shadow. It's the shadow of the glove.
You think so?
Yeah,
there's a highlight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Say this dude, whoever the artist is, did this on Procreate. He could show us the animation of exactly what he did, but I'm not buying it. I think this is at least AI enhanced, and it's not even enhanced. This is a downgrade. This is like me still being on dial-up.
Yeah, dude, that Flint looks terrible. He looks like a kid, kind of.
Yeah.
And you said it, Baldy. Like, I have not heard one person say that this is okay.
No, neither have I.
No one has said that this is perfectly fine.
No,
don't
but
get me wrong. I'm glad they got the figure right. The figure looks good, and that's how it should be. But I agree. Like, this should have never got approved.
No, but if you want to scream about this, right, you can control the narrative and say that other people say that this is okay.
Even Flint is screaming about how bad he looks.
This is awful. I mean, look at the size. Look at the size of the beret. Look at how small his chest is. It's so fucking weird, man.
And that other one looks so fucking good.
I mean, the figures look good.
You look at the old 40-year-old Flint. He's got a bicep. You can tell he's been working out. Like, he's a grizzled veteran. You said the beret, like.
This is Ben Shapiro in cosplay. I mean, it looks ridiculous, man.
The driest Lady J ever.
Look at Viper Scouts. This is perfectly fine for me to poop on.
Oh, wait, are you doing it or am I doing it? All right, listen, just so everybody knows, Toy Optics has control of the chat, okay? I'm not going to touch it anymore. So here's the big thing here, right? What is the problem with any company, not Hasbro, but any company using AI and maybe not telling us?
So I think that's kind of subjective because with any technology, as technology advances, historically, it's been a situation of either roll with it or get rolled over. A friend I was talking to that creates like little AI animations and music to go along with them. Basically, he said that as technology evolves, we have to use that technology because it's what the industry standard is becoming. So if the industry standard is becoming AI, then of course it's going to become more acceptable, except to those of us that are in an analog, that are from an analog generation.
All right. So, do you think if a company's using it, and we're just going to say Hasbro because they Hasbro, if they were transparent and told us that this was AI, would you feel better about this?
Yeah, for sure. If they flat out said, yes, we used AI to enhance photos or drawings or artwork, or we used AI artwork for this. Look how great we did with the prompts because there's not a lot of mistakes in it. Then I would feel a lot better about it than, oh, it's not than Hasbro saying it's not AI.
All right. Well,
Why
so
lie?
I disagree with that. I just think that, like, yes, like you said, roll with the times. AI is going to be a tool that's used throughout, right? It's going to be used throughout all sorts of industries, but
that doesn't mean I like it.
Yeah, for me, if they're honest, it goes back to what I said. I don't care if you use steroids. Just don't fucking tell me you don't use steroids when I can see the needle hanging out your ass.
Right.
All right. It's cool. You use steroids, fine. Just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me about this. Say, you know what? We thought that, you know what, we can save some money and actually put money into the figure. You know, into what we're designing rather than the artist and paying the artist, which still isn't going to be that expensive. I mean, that's not breaking the bank, but
no, I think. Listen, I just think I don't like AI used in artwork.
I agree.
I think it's fucked. I think it's not a good look. For this, I think it's these three figures, right? It's Flink, CoverGirl, and Televiper.
Yes.
I think they look at this and they see the uproar and they go, look, we either have to get better at fooling everybody or we have to use the prompts differently and clean it up. I think that's what DC did. If anybody wants to look into it, because I didn't include the slides, it was a Shazam, a Wonder Woman, and I think a Power Girl cover and a Joker book where the artwork is the same artist, but it's inconsistent. And then some of the artwork you could see was cloned.
Matthew, who was, and if someone else remembers, you also can chime in. Who was the guy that he used to go on the Full Force? He did a lot of the artwork. He did some of the artwork for Super 7, but he did the Night Force, Ripcord. He did Sergeant Slaughter. I'd love to have him on, talk to him, and see what he says about this, and if he thinks this is actual AI. I know we could probably get a hold of him through Adam Riches. Thank you, not Rachel.
Yes,
I would love to get Adam Riches on, and thanks, Matthew. Rich, someone reach out to Rich. Just Rich.
Who's Rich? Is he talking about Adam Riches?
Trav Moody right now is already messaging him to get him on a toy kind of mood.
Wait, are you doing it or am I doing it?
Damn, because I went to do it and then you did it.
Yeah,
all right,
listen,
I'm off. My hands are here. You can
okay.
see.
No, you do it. My hands are here. Or wait.
Baldy, you should. You're leading.
Let me add a finger.
Baldy, you're leading the show, so you should because you're highlighting something.
I don't know how to read. Listen, I think everybody's got kind of the same stance. Like, I think that when you're like, there's an ethical thing to taking jobs away from artists, right? But
Yes.
at the same time, years ago, when Photoshop, when Illustrator, when iPad came as a tool for artists to kind of, I guess, digitally manipulate their artwork, right? It
Same
was shit on, but then it was adopted. But now you have these AI prompts where almost anybody can just go in and do a prompt, and it looks like shit. Like, look at this.
Right.
There's way
Yeah.
more G.I. Joe AI shit out there. I remember this. Somebody did a trailer like about 6 months or a year ago.
Yeah.
I do remember it.
I mean,
And they've
look,
been doing it with Star Wars, with like sitcom trailers. It's like, here's my thing with AI. Number one, AI has existed for a long time, right? We have all been using it. You have a camera that has autofocus, that's AI. You have the AI has been in some way, shape, form in existence for a long time, and we all use it. AI, when it comes to artwork,
see you, Jason.
you know, Photoshop, Lightroom, whatever, like Adobe has gone all in with generative AI, and it is a very useful tool when you use it as a tool, right? Like, oh, I'm going to use generative AI to erase part of this image that doesn't look good. I used it, the last picture I took with the ramen van, it has exposed screws on the back doors when you open them.
Right.
And they catch the light and they ping and they take your eye away from. So I use generative AI just to fill the gap and just make it look like continuous white plastic, right? Or
But you put the time into the artwork.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like using AI as a tool to help enhance what you're doing, I think is okay. But when you're using AI to create something like this or those stupid fucking classified figure animations,
Oh man,
like,
don't get me started.
like I hate that shit. And there was an argument in another stream that those classified animations weren't stealing anything. It was using the existing. Yes, they are, because how would AI know how a human being moves
Yes.
or moves their mouth or what? It's still taking information that was fed to it. Like, and I don't like the creative.
I do
Like,
I do want to say I think there is a place for AI. Let's say you're doing a YouTube show like myself, right? And you just you have a couple moderators, and let's say you have it, and that's how you create your thumbnails. No one is buying that product due to that thumbnail, right? I don't think that's a big issue. Like you kind of create every now and then, you create something to throw up there to promote your show. But when you're doing actual artwork that's being sold, that's where it's like you're stealing from other people. You're taking away from artists who, let's be honest, most of them have worked extremely hard to get there. I have an issue with that. But like if one of us were just, hey, for our next YouTube show, we're doing things, on the side, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Unless if it looks really stupid. Now, if it's a car and a horse combined, then I'm all for that.
Well, what about this? This is G.I. Joe prompted AI from about a year ago. I don't know what the fuck the prompt was, but because this looks like aliens.
Yeah.
You can see some elements of snakes, but I don't know what this is. It just looks, it doesn't look good to me. And then here is a modern age Duke. The prompt was.
I thought that was CoverGirl.
This is what the AI spit out. Now I didn't do this. I found this, but I read.
Don't lie, Baldy.
No, I didn't do this, but this is fucking ridiculous.
This is Fabio as Duke.
All right, I got to go do dad time and then get ready for work. So I'll see you guys later.
All right, take care,
we'll catch
everybody.
you, man.
Thanks
Hey.
everybody for joining in, and thanks for the comments and whatnot. Make sure and stay engaged, and we'll see you soon.
Get out of here. Get out.
I'm trying.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm wondering who it stole from. This almost looks like Danger Girl. Do you guys remember the comic book Danger
Oh
Girl?
yeah, J. Scott
Nope.
Campbell's fucking phenomenal artist.
So it almost looks like it steals from that, maybe.
I see more of like an anime influence in the
Yeah,
face.
I can see that too. Beautiful hair.
Beautiful hair. We should all be jealous.
Yes. Oh, definitely for sure. Yeah, we got a lot of anime Duke comments, and are you clicking on them or am I? There we go.
It's not me.
Modern
I
age
love this.
cover girl.
It I mean, it looks more like Lady J's her outfit.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
I
that
can see that.
wonky ass American flag on
Yeah,
the
I was about to
shoulders.
say that flag is I don't remember our stripes ever looking like that.
That is the US after it's merged with Israel.
Well, I
That'd
mean,
be the USI then, right?
Yeah.
the thing okay, so we're about to get into the leaks. The thing is, it's just it lacks originality. There's no identity to the artist when you do this kind of shit. It's just, I think ethically everybody agrees that I'd rather see somebody employed and
I
do
agree.
it. And AI can be used as a tool to kind of, yes, it looks like Simon Belmont.
Simon Belmont, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
that's excellent. That's a great
That I
one.
do that reference I do know.
Oh, thank God, man. You played Castlevania?
I don't remember if I played it, but I remember it.
Okay. Well, the Konami art. Do you guys remember
Yes.
the artwork
Yeah,
on the
that's what I'm
NES?
saying. I remember that.
See, we grew up in a time, right, where and I'll get this shit off the screen for a second, but we grew up in a time. See, I love this. The circle jerks. We grew up in a time where artwork, yes, it was there, and sometimes as a kid it was an afterthought, but we all still remember it.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Because we grew up in a time of Heavy Metal magazine. Masters of the Universe was all painted. G.I. Joe,
But
Go
it
ahead.
goes
The
to the same
Nintendo
as,
boxes.
Nintendo.
but it goes to the same as reading the file card. Someone had to write it out, not some AI that pushed it out. Someone actually had to write it out. It's the same concept.
Yep. And that's what's
Oh, Baldy doesn't know because he can't read.
what's that? We talked about this. I wanted to
I
keep
know.
that off air.
You've said it like 4 times on air.
Well, I did say that. Everybody knows I'm not the brightest bulb. All right, go ahead, Spec. You read this one.
Using AI without the knowledge/talent to transform the AI output into quality art, that's a problem, and that's why we get six-finger art.
And, Liquid Identity, what's important about that is, had Hasbro or who else was it? Fresh Monkey Fiction that was accused
Yeah,
of?
I don't know anything about that. When I read Matt's comment, that was new to
Yeah,
me.
I'm not familiar with that. But when companies are accused of it, like, if it's used as a tool, it's one thing, maybe as a blueprint, but I just don't like it in artwork, because that's where you're supposed to be creative. That's where it's supposed to be an extension of the individual. And I believe that Hasbro and even Super 7 heard people loud and clear with these card backs, and either they're going to get better at fooling us going forward, or they're going to do an about face and go, you know what, this is bad publicity. Let's make sure we have a human doing this.
So I can't speak for Super 7, but we know that the G.I. Joe team at Hasbro, they listen to what people are saying. That's why we have the figures that we have now.
Right.
And the line didn't die after 2 years. They
No, I
did a
mean-
course correction. Now, I have a feeling that what we're going to see is the next 3 retros are going to have really shitty AI artwork. And then I bet we'll see it start to change. Because they probably haven't done the artwork for the other ones.
They
probably
have
have the
not.
artwork for the next 3 that are coming out. And someone's got to be going, I told you they were going to notice. I told you.
They got to be screaming behind the scenes, like, "What the fuck were you thinking?"
Even
Yeah.
when Arnold lands butt naked near me, I'm running.
But it's just to me, it's insane. It's insane that it gets to this point because, like we all. I don't want to say we all. I work for a company where
So
the
say
marketing.
we all.
We all work for a
So-
company.
So say we all. Come on, no one knows that.
Battlestar Galactica. I know
Thank
which
you. Let me go here. Great reboot.
What is it?
Except for the last season.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. That's about as much as I know about Battlestar
I just want to
Galactica.
say this. Whenever, if you remember, he asked, do you want to form an alliance? Anytime someone says, do you want to fuck with Travis? The answer is absolutely.
Exactly. So wait, did you already have this up? Because I didn't read it. I'll read this one because I totally agree with this. Not understanding the importance of quality art of a retro card back is fundamentally not understanding the love of retro style. And that is why the retro line even exists. So the fact that they had this massive misstep. So whether they keep coming back and saying it's not AI, or if they tell us in a couple weeks, you know what, the artist or this manager or whomever lied to us, it was AI. We discovered it's AI. We're changing it going forward. That's what fans want to hear. Whether they'll say something like that, I have no idea.
And I don't like saying they don't understand, because who doesn't understand? Believe me, Lenny, everything that he does, it is a love letter, to his father. I'll just say it. Like, he flat out told me before, like, everything that he does is a love letter to his father, because that's why he was in the G.I. Joe. Is this something that's handed down from corporate, and not just the G.I. Joe? They're like, hey, you know what? We're doing AI, and you're just going to have to toe the company line. They are a corporation. I mean, Baldy, you work for a corporation, right? They
Yep.
tell you got to say something. Guess what? Are you not going to feed your family because you're going to stand on your principles, or you're going to say, yep, you know what? You're right.
Yeah. I
Foreign
mean,
cards
when
are
it
better
comes
than
down
American.
to something like this, it's kind of like, and I can't speak for anybody on the classified team, but I would say, you know what? Put my hands up. Let the fans give you your feedback, and then I can
Yes.
say I was right.
And John, I don't think it should be the exact retro art, but when you look at Stalker, they did it where they made some slight modifications to it. Perfect.
Right.
Like, that's what it should be. It should be not a trace of it, but someone recreates that artwork, that look, penning it in, penciling in, whatever you want to say, painting in it or whatever. That's how it should be done.
So I agree with that too. So that it should be an homage to what came before.
That was an homage.
Homage?
Homage.
Homage.
It is O-face.
But I think we can all agree, not one person in the G.I. Joe community agrees with this artwork or the use of AI. Okay, we can move on. I'm tired of this topic.
Yeah, it's bottom line is, whether it's AI, whether it's digitally enhanced, whether somebody fell asleep that day or was tripping too hard when they were making the painting, it's not good. It's not good artwork. At the end of the day,
they were tripping when they were making Masters of the Universe and A Real American Hero when we were kids. All that shit is a massive trip. right?
The drugs weren't as strong back then. I don't know.
Or
If
they were
it's not
hella
AI,
dope.
shouldn't their name be in the art? Because every artist leaves their signature in their
Yeah.
artwork somewhere.
I will say that you brought up earlier when the Classify line first started. They had these artists, right? And they had an artist program going on where they
Yep.
were bringing in artists all over the place, doing their take on different characters. It wasn't all one artist like it was for a Real American Hero, right?
I wish it would have been, but you're right.
Well, they changed that later
Yeah.
in the later waves, but always highlighting the artists. I always liked that. I thought that was great. So yeah, hopefully this is a lesson learned and they move on from this. But
Yeah, but like I said, my prediction will be the next three, because they're coming in waves of three, will be that AI art. And then we'll start to see it go back to what it was looking like before. But if you remember, some of them had like some of the card art, they actually like they painted in the ab crunch and shit. Like, why would you do that? Zartan, I think, has the ab crunch.
oh, painted one. I gotta go back.
Yeah,
to that
like
part.
the Zartan, the Zartan one. I think that he has the ab crunch because someone had pointed it out, and like,
Are you saying that right? Isn't it Zartan?
Zartan.
Zertin.
Zertin.
Zartan.
Yeah,
But
it's like a new allergy medicine.
say it a little more like mono.
Zertin.
Monotone. Monotone.
Zertin. Hello,
That-
I'm Bobby
that sounds-
B, and welcome to B's Battlegrounds.
Zartan. Today we're looking at
I think we should just end on this.
bottom line.
There's nothing we can do about the 3 retro cards that they're currently releasing. But Hasbro or Lenny and he's not doing the card art, but Hasbro listens to us. They go back, they sit there and say, dude, that Falcon head sculpt is not going over well. And they fixed it.
Yep.
They'll listen about this too and say, hey, that was a big misstep. When we release the next wave, we got to fix that.
Agree.
Yeah, because right now these 3 cards and you're predicting the next 3 cards are this year's Falcon head. I mean,
Cool.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can we do the next 15 minutes of Bobby B? So you're picking this up, you skipping out on it? Tell me in the comments.
Well, listen,
that
here's
deep
another
baritone.
thing. We're done with the AI talk. I think by the chat and by what we've said, nobody's on board with that. shit.
Everyone hates it. It's
Everybody
trash.
hates it. Whatever. How do you guys feel about leaks?
Yeah.
Hi.
I did not mean to do
I
that.
don't. I don't know how to feel about leaks. They're here to stay.
Yeah, I don't like it. I didn't like it with Apple, and I don't like it with Joe. And going back into Apple, like when Steve Jobs was still in charge, and there was a massive lockdown, and of course things weren't as prevalent, social media wasn't as whatever. It made the keynotes where they announced new product more special and more fun to watch and more engaging.
Right.
Like, oh, we're getting, and now it's just like, okay, I already know what's going to happen on next year's iPhone. I know what the improvements are going to be. I know if I want it or if I don't want it. And the keynotes, while they've been trying to do things to make them more interesting to watch and use visual tricks because nobody is Steve Jobs and can sell and engage the way that he could, it just makes it like I'm less interested to tune in on Tuesday when Apple does a keynote for new product because I already know because of the leaks. And it's kind of the same here. I mean, I do like watching because like Lenny and those guys like Tony and all that, their excitement for the line shines through and I still get excited. But like I would have rather have been shocked by seeing a render reveal or a full plastic whatever than this. Like, it's cool that I see it now. I know we're getting these, but it sucks away some of that surprise.
Yeah.
So I
Now-
think I want for me. I think it's like I want them because they're there, but I wish that they weren't. If that makes sense. It's kind of like when someone says, "Do you think it's better that a whole show gets dropped in one day, or that they drop it week to week?" I like sitting down and watching a whole show, but I think it's better for a product if they go week to week because it keeps it in people's minds.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It's kind of like these leaks are kind of like seeing the entire story or the important parts of a movie in a trailer, right?
That's never happened before.
I'm just saying, like I skip trailers anymore if I really want to see something. And it's funny, you have certain people or channels say that you heard it here first, folks. You know, when the news was fucking leaked 6 months ago, we all knew these figures were coming. If you're a collector of the line and you see how strong the line is going, this shit's been leaked since last year, and then you'll get some stupid video from some idiot
in 9 minutes.
about here's my timeline, and you heard it here first, folks, last week, even though people have been talking about it for 6 months. We all knew this was coming. We all knew that Major Blood was getting a re-release at some point. We knew that Cobra Commander was coming in the battle armor. I think this might be, for me, it's not a misstep, but it's on the left here is the 2008 version where the helmet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
I still have that one.
yeah, I think I don't know if I still have this one, but I still have my original one. I think it's right here next to me, but yeah, it's Fred. We all know it's Fred. It's not Once a Man. We all know that it's Fred 7. And do you need a mask? Like, I mean, do you need a head underneath that mask, or the
I think it
concealed
would-
identity is part of the character?
I think it would be fun. I mean, they could go different ways. We all know the way they're going to go is it's going to be flesh, human eyes behind it, right? They're not
Right.
going to, they could do what the hell is that terrible cartoon called? Operation Dragonfire, when Cobra Commander goes back from being the snake into a snake-looking humanoid, almost like a Once a Man.
We were talking about Chris Cox earlier. That was part of the Dick run.
The Dick run.
Yeah.
Or this one, when you took the helmet off, he was wearing a balaclava or just a black mask or whatever. But it would be cool to get an official Fred head at some point, and this would be a great character to do that with.
Yeah.
But just because they don't do a removable helmet doesn't mean that we may not get an alternate head sculpt. I don't see it happening, but
I would hate it because there's a lot of people that didn't read the comic that don't know what you guys are talking about, and they would be all over going, "This is what Cobra Commander looks like."
I was trying to open up the case that I have my original Cobra Commander in, and I think I just broke it.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care for the leaks. What's interesting with these leaks, though, which I find funny, is what other brand has this many freaking leaks? Can you guys name any other brand other than like the Sam Jackson head that's obviously not Doc?
Whoa, that is totally Doc.
It's not Doc. It's fucking Mace Windu, okay? Or at most, maybe it's Nick Fury.
That is Doc.
All right, maybe it's Doc. Yeah, maybe it's Doc.
Once you put the sunglasses on him, totally Doc. Looks nothing like Sam Jackson.
At all. He's a bad motherfucker. So whose head is this to the right of Cobra Commander's helmet?
Think blowtorches.
It's Blowtorch, right?
Yeah, that's what someone said last night.
Yeah. Not barbecue, Blowtorch?
Yeah, blowtorch,
Okay.
not barbecue.
That's good. I thought it was a Black Series head. I was like, is that like a young Harrison Ford? I couldn't tell.
So I asked last night, and someone said that it's barbecue, or not barbecue, blowtorch. And then when you kind of look at the side, I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good point. How did you say this earlier, Spec? A toy kind of
Moo.
moo.
Kind of moo.
You said the D is silent, right?
The D is silent.
Marvel
D
has their
is
whole
in
next
their-
year slate leaked. So Marvel, it's all Hasbro stuff that's getting leaked, right? Because
the factories they're coming out of and the people that are designing them. So
right.
it maybe if we were big into Star Wars or big into Marvel Legends and stuff like that, maybe we'd be like, wow, who else has this many leaks? There's obviously a lot of Transformer leaks that come out too, but I don't pay attention to Transformers, so imagine trying to figure those ones out. Look at this arm. Who could it be? Look at this title.
When the Transformers leaks come out, I'm trying to think because I do catch those too. Usually it's more of a complete robot, so you're not sitting there trying to guess.
Yeah.
I was just Spec, are you able to yeah, there you go. So I never fixed my monkey wrench. So those legs are pretty accurate. that's monkey wrench. Here's the rest of them here. Original O-rings rotted. But yeah, no, that's disturbing. Don't do that.
What, that?
Yeah. Nobody wants that. Come on, man. That's too much beard. I'm going to leave a link. I meant to say this before. I'm going to leave a link in the description. If you guys come to my page, you get 1 month free on my OnlyFigs account. It's a lot of beard play. I know that Spec does not have the beard for that.
I used to.
I can't find my Cobra Commander. Here he is.
Oh, that's a different layout.
And I still have my file card.
Whoops. Get off me.
Jesus. Yeah, this is awful, dude. Yeah, I don't know if we're using this format again.
Well, if Spec wasn't messing around with shit, we wouldn't be having this.
It's my first time, so I'm just kind of learning.
I know. I still
He
never
doesn't know
messed
where
with
to put his hands.
I still never mess with that stuff because I never have I have no need to do it. I don't do a lot of shows like that. So a lot of that stuff I never, mess around with.
All right, I'll read this one. I want to apologize to a toy kind of moo for calling them lames last year. I thought they were being buddies with 3POA. Now I shall return to the shadows. Okay, yeah. Now that 3 of your fave bald brothers and your second nemesis isn't going to Joe Fest, are you still excited for it? And will you have your own panel? I think that question goes to you, Lawrence.
I have no intention of doing a panel. And yes, I have more friends than just a few people that were there. So yes.
Yes, I think you're going to really enjoy yourself. There were so many good guys there. And I'm sad that I'll be missing it. So the reason I included some of these pictures here is that the leaks are nothing new. The leaks have been around for quite a few years now with the popularity of classified. So the leaks coming out, it's been a little frustrating. You can see, do you see it on the legs there? I'm circling it, but nobody can see what I'm doing. It says Zen there. So this picture was shared with me. And I was I was told to please post it publicly, and I did, and it got picked up very quickly. So
I remember you messaging me about telling me that you're doing that
yeah,
because of certain individuals that refuse to give credit and we're just taking it.
yep. It was interesting, but the reason I brought these up again is there were a lot of comments saying, "Oh, these are fake. These aren't real." And this is nothing new to the classified line. These have the leaks.
People were
have
saying
been out
those
there.
are fake.
Yes,
Like
that these are fake.
this is why I hate the Joe community. Honestly, like, honest to God, like, you're right. This is not new. Some guy asked, and he's like, I'm not questioning, but is that a knockoff or like an early version of it or something like that? Because he started like criticizing certain things that it doesn't look right. And how could you have that when it just went up for pre-order? This is nothing new that somebody gets an early version of it that's not out. And all you have to do is look at the guy that keeps leaking it. That's where these are coming from. Starts with the J. Sounds like Khan. Isn't a shark.
Actually, I should included. I should have included that meme. I made a meme where I said Hasbro right now, and it's Kirk yelling "Con." But these constant leaks, like, what do you think the purpose is? To be the first to get it? To be the first to like put it out there? Or is it some type of like, I don't think it's sabotage because the line is doing so well, but what do you think the purpose of the leaks are?
I think the same as like movie leaks. People want to know. You get people driving, traffic driving to your. Khan, I think, does some things differently. He's leaking stuff, and then he has the ability to have some of them in hand. So I think he can kind of turn around and make a profit off of it.
Okay.
Other guys are trying to drive people to their channel, which eventually leads to the YouTube channel, which again, if you're monetized, you get more views on it. You're going to get more money. I mean, that's what it all comes down to.
And here's the thing, like, I'm not a fan of the leaks, but guess what we all do? We all end up sharing it.
Yep.
We all end up sharing it, and I definitely have been guilty of it. I'm not a fan of it. What I've been doing lately is putting the original character in front of it, saying, look, if you don't want to see it, but so maybe, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do. But I saw it. I know people are interested in seeing it. I will share it, but I've been putting up other pictures in front of it. Yeah, factory workers aren't doing it for the love of the product. Liquid Identity, what do you think they're doing it for? Can you put that in your next comment?
Yeah, exactly what. Yeah. So, what Spec said, they're doing it because they're getting some of this. They can turn around and flip it, right? Where other guys that are breaking the news all the time and posting in their stories quickly, they're doing it because they want to drive people either to their website, to their Instagram, eventually to their YouTube. It makes sense. I'm in no rush to break news. I mean, every now and then, if I get something early, or I'll post it. But I don't want to be I'm not a news channel. I talk about the news on Monday night, but it's all from a week ago. I'm not breaking any news.
Well, this is actually our last slide here. But ultimately, I'll take this off of the screen now. We all saw this, but again, I added these. I had Spec help me with this today. I added these because the leaks aren't anything new.
Nope.
I added the Dragonfly at Big Bad Toy Store earlier because that's not anything new. That's something that's been going on for years with each HasLab. The AI enhanced artwork, that's new. Or, Spec, you brought up a good point earlier that there's certain tools in everybody's phones, on their iPads, when you're making artwork, when you're making Google Slides, PowerPoints for work, when you're doing stuff like that. Those are all enhanced tools, right? and AI is going to go that route. But I think we all agree that you can't just prompt and use a prompt and make that and call it artwork.
No, it could be that their machine broke down, and the only one that they had with that program on was Windows Millennium, and it just didn't translate properly because Millennium sucked.
Well, it's just it's nuts. I heard from some island guy that Hasbro will stop making toys. Is that true? It's 100% true.
I like what Blitz said. It's dopamine. It's a dopamine hit, and he's absolutely correct.
That's true. If we could snort our likes, we would.
Here we go.
I wouldn't. I'm
Boom.
sure.
That's right. We all agree with that, Stanley. Factory workers are getting kickbacks.
Well,
I
let's
agree
be-
with that. Hey, can you get me some pictures? Can we get this just out there? You don't even have to send them to me. Put it on social media. Get the information out
But
there.
that is also the benefit. The benefit that I've been doing reviews for as long as I have, and obviously I've become one of the bigger ones known in the G.I. Joe community. Someone wanted to send this to me. I don't not monetize it, right? That would be stupid. I think you guys know very well about the whole getting things first, right? You've probably been in on some conversations about it. It is good. It is good, and it does help drive to the channel. I make no bones about it. That I bring in some income that pays for my hobby here. I don't shy away from it. So if a factory worker is getting some kickbacks, good for him.
Yeah, listen, that's just how it is. Like, the leaks are out there. The leaks are here to stay. But it is interesting to me that it's certain lines getting the leaks. Other lines made in the same factories are not being leaked. Why is that?
Or that we don't know. Okay, I don't follow those.
Okay.
We did see Mace Windu. We've seen Shizor before. We've seen a whole bunch of them. He's put them out there. And to Chaz's comment, I don't think Hasbro is that smart to do that. They have other ways that they reach out to the community, but I don't think that they're smart enough to throw out, hey, hire one person or have one person sending out the leaks. I just don't think that that's smart.
I mean, it's free publicity that like bad publicity is still good. It's still publicity. But I know I messed that up. But
no, you change it to how it should be. Bad publicity is publicity.
It's publicity. But what I think is, why would they leak the fact? They don't need to leak that at this point. The line is doing well. Everybody wants to get it.
Yeah.
Where they are doing a massive misstep is the communication of, like, say, Breaker at Target. Well, I guess, where did they share the information for Crystal Ball? That was tweeted out, right?
I have no idea. They said it's a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Toy Fair?
That was a Toy Fair. So I'm just mixing up the signals here, but Breaker wasn't shared. Tiger Paw wasn't shared.
And Emily admitted the Tiger Paw was a mistake and that they would do better. Although I don't know if they've done better.
Yeah, but do you see the connection there? They're both at Target. It's Target that did that.
Well, yeah, but they didn't even announce it. Well, it was the same as when Target put up the wrong price for the Python Patrol Trouble Bubble.
Right.
It was $45. So obviously Paul's had to put up for $45 also. And Emily said, "Hey, we made a mistake. Enjoy it."
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just I don't know. The Target fuck up is actually, it is kind of ridiculous to depend on the people that follow the brand to tweet it out and to share the information. But they did originally, everybody kind of forgets this. They did originally have a stream scheduled last month that got pushed to the 18th. So we would have gotten that information, but they really should have gotten ahead of that and been like, hey, we got this drop on Tuesday. It's still scheduled. Get a tweet out there. Don't tweet it at 12:30 after it's been sold out for a half hour or a couple hours.
I want to address something that Trav Mood said. It says it's supposed to be BMAC, but he hasn't done much. Both of them are baby leave, but Dan keeps posting, and they also have Ryan. So as much as people couldn't stand Emily, I feel the brand was in much better hands when she was doing all the marketing. Way better than BMAC. BMAC just seems like he's there. Emily was constantly pushing the stuff out there. Did she make mistakes? Sure. But so does everyone. So, I mean, I barely know who BMAC is, but I knew who Emily was. And I didn't know who Emily was, I don't think, in a bad way. Because I was able to take away that you don't have to be a Joe fan of 30 years to help run a brand.
No, I think under her tenure,
it did well.
It was good, and
it did much better than before she was.
Not just that, the people that were screaming about, I want 6-inch versions of exactly what I had as kid. That's what I want. That's where it's shifting. I actually kind of feel like the line is going to completely go that way at some point. But right now, we still have classified. Classified and the modern update is what got me into it.
But here it is. People want the exact thing, but they're bitching this doesn't look like Flint. And I'll ask again. I asked this last night. What does Flint look like? Right? I know what Luke Skywalker looks like because he's Mark Hamill. Right? I know what Optimus Prime looks like because it's a Peterbilt. I know what Princess Leia looks like. How many iterations, whether it be cartoon, comic, different versions of the cartoon? What about the G.I. Joe movie that had Flint? So don't tell me. So people are already bitching about this when no one has it but one person. I'm that person.
This is why you're
you, Bobby B.
This is why you're in a purple, you jerk. Yeah, no, listen, I agree with you because guess what? I would rather have the Energon version of Mercer. So I actually missed putting the slides in for Mercer. I would have liked to have the Energon version.
You know what I want? I want multiple versions. I want the Real American Hero, and I want an updated version. And I'm not following the Energon universe, but make it like give me multiple. We have multiple versions of Wolverine and Spider-Man and Iron Man. Oh God, we did a lot of Iron Man. Like we can have multiple versions of these things. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, listen, we're going to get multiple versions because they realize how important the brand is. They realize it enough.
Yes.
For a guy who is running the company is up there and people say he's running it into the ground or they want to go digital or they're moving away from toys. He at least is recognizing the strength of G.I. Joe by saying right in to get a flag. So
and
the brand is strong.
And coming from a company that has shied away from G.I. Joe for 10 years.
If they do it right, what they truly need to do is work on their media presence.
I agree with that. There's no reason why.
Because we can't continue to be the stewards, right?
But we will.
And that's a problem because
I agree.
Without looking at our age, people could look at us and go, you got one foot in the grave there, Baldy. You know what I mean?
I look young still.
Well, the brand can die with.
Let me shave this, and you'll be like, "Holy shit! Who's the 12-year-old?"
If I shave this, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't even know who you are.
You wouldn't believe how young I look. So, what I'm getting at is they need a media presence. They need to start going after the younger audience because not even the younger audience is reading Energon, or at least not that I know of.
Well, I mean, someone is because it hasn't it been one of the top selling comics.
It is, and it is getting other people. You know what?
I still have my hair too, just not as much of it as I used to when I don't shave it, which makes me want to shave it because there's a big shiny spot in the back.
I have other people's hair. Yeah, they need a media presence for sure, and they need to because whatever. What is this?
We'll have to see because I
what
know
this
who
means. Baldy has to help his mom swipe.
I know who BMAC is because I collect and follow Transformers, and he's a good guy, and I think he's a Joe fan too.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything negative, but
I think that we got very lucky and spoiled with Emily, and the chemistry that she, the charisma that she has, and the chemistry that she had with Lenny and Tony. And because of that, she moved up in the ranks, right? Like
You guys are
only
fucking
fair
shills.
that
You
that
guys are
happened.
shills.
Yes.
You're shilling for Emily, and it's fucking disgusting.
I was looking for my Circle Show shirt and I couldn't find it.
But I think, you know, if and when BMAC gets back in and gets more settled, number one, he's not Emily, right? He's good. I like him, but he's not Emily. So he'll bring his own thing to the table. But, you know, he just had a kid. I don't, you know, I don't know if he's still on paternity leave or maybe
if he just had a kid, he's not coming back with more energy, okay? The guy had no energy to begin with. You don't come back after you have a kid with more energy. If anything, you're fucking dead.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like, I don't know why he's been MIA for as long as he's been, and I'm not going to speculate as on that. But
Punk, did you want to comment on this?
on which?
On Chaz's.
I don't like. I mean,
Stop it when I hit it.
I think we all know what a naked grown man looks like. I mean, have you ever seen a grown man?
Gladiator movies.
Do you like gladiator movies, Billy?
Oh shit, guys!
Is your mom coming home?
Do you guys hear that?
Because my wife is saying you need to start making dinner.
Guys, I think my mom's home. We got to go. Guys, thanks everybody for hanging out and everything. Check it if you watch it on one. Don't do that, man. If you watched it on my channel, go check out Punk's channel or Toy Optics and vice versa. Punk, how long did you say they have to sit in there for?
I recommend staying about a minute. 60 seconds is good. 30 seconds when the analytics kind of like it says how long people watch them for 30 seconds, but go 60 seconds.
Yeah,
it's a minute out of your life.
Women love it when you go 60 seconds or more. So we're gonna love it too.
I'm usually asleep by 60
what
seconds.
You guys what I think we learned from this is that we're gonna rotate channels for the show and probably just make it easier on all the viewers, help get the views out there for everybody. But seriously, guys, I gotta get the trash out. I'm gonna get in trouble. All right. Thanks, everybody.